respected seniors and my dear friends, good evening to all. So in the first place, I thank Thoothukudi IMA President, my dear friend Mari, and my Secretary, fellow runner, Dr. Sivasalam, for encouraging me to speak about this topic, not so scientific topic. So, when I went to the computer center to design this graphic, the computer person asked me, "Sir, rendu photo podnuma illa unga photo mattum idla pota poduma?" Then I am eligible enough and qualified enough to speak about this. So right from a road roller to a road runner, it has been quite an interesting journey, and I would like to share a few points which I have found out over this journey. So many of us would have asked this question for ourselves: how long do we want to live? Any wishes, Bharati? So ultimately, the idea is to die young as late as possible. That is, we want to live long, but with a young mind, young body, and young looks. So is it possible? People have shown that it is possible. 71-year-old Mrs. Hema Malini is still doing dance, and 68-year-old Anil Kapoor is still doing modeling. Yes, people can do that. So right from the childhood, I have been chubby. To be frank, fat. And I had many nicknames with body shaming and all. And after finishing college, this is 2010, I have been having a weight about 80 plus kgs. Then the next picture is 2012, 90 plus kgs. 90 plus kgs I am growing, and then 2014 I crossed 100 kgs, century. So as like this cartoon, as I am growing, I was gaining width, and as my children are growing, again I am gaining width, more width. And in 2017, I crossed 110 kgs, 111. So I was accepting the fact that I am fat, I will remain fat. Right. Then during my orthopedic practice, I was seeing many geriatric hip fractures. Old people commonly having hip fractures. We are doing surgeries, we are treating the patients. Then I realized that the obese patients are very difficult to manage their comorbidities. The diabetic control, the hypertension control takes time and very difficult. Difficult for anesthesia, high risk, difficult to do surgeries, and it is very, very, very difficult to do the rehabilitation. Usually these people take from 2 to 3 weeks to get up on the walker and start walking. While the normal BMI patients, active patients, they are able to walk in 2 or 3 days with the walker after surgery. Their pain threshold is very high. So that was my moment of epiphany. So I started to think, what will happen if I got sick? What will happen if I had a fracture? Then I started to think about weight reduction. So as many obese people, I started various things various attempts, fasting, turning into pure vegetarian, even medications, and commercial weight loss health drinks, which resulted in neither weight loss nor health, and changed into weight, no rice, only chapatis. And as in a game of snake and ladders, only with snakes, again and again I was returning to square one. I cannot reduce the weight. Then in late 2018 I struck gold. I found out the formula for weight reduction. That was 2019, the first picture. From 111 kgs I came down to 80 kgs in a span of 6 months. Then I started running and fell in love for the second time in my life. The love is still growing. That was Chennai half marathon, 21 kilometers I completed last month. So weight reduction gives good things, like you will get new clothes. I changed my wardrobe twice in 1 year. So previously my pant size was 44 inches and now 34 inches. Shirt size was 44 inches. Now it is 40 inches. So thinking back, மேலையும் 44, கீழையும் 44, கிட்டத்தட்ட ட்ரம் மாதிரி இருந்தது. So as far as many studies have been conducted on doctors' BMI, invariably all the studies show that around 60% of the doctors are above normal BMI. We always go to the conferences, CMEs, we talk about the modern medicines, we talk about the recent advances in medicine, we talk about not only about the welfare of the patients. We are not talking or thinking about our own welfare. I do think it's time to do that. So if you listen to your body when it whispers, you won't have to hear it scream in later life. The scream may be in many complications which may be irreversible. So what are those whispers? That is red flags. Many people won't be realize initially that they were gaining weight. Patient வரும்போது weight கூட்டிட்டீங்களாம் இல்லம்பாங்க. Pant tight ஆகுதா, that is for male patients. சட்டை tight ஆகுதா, that is for lady patients. That is the first sign that you are gaining weight. Snoring, we know, a precursor to sleep apnea syndrome later. Heartburns, esophagitis, acid peptic disease, and effortful activities of daily living. That is, your daily activities suddenly become difficult, like climbing up the stairs, tying your shoelaces, become difficult. Craving and addiction. You always want to munch something. When you are having a talk with a friend, you want to take coffee or vadai. Always keep a snack box in the home. Always checking in the fridge before going to sleep. So these are all the things that you are going for craving. And lethargic, pre-diabetic, borderline hypertension, all the signs that you have to make a change in your lifestyle. The 5 stages of grief by Kubler-Ross applies as well to obesity also. Many overweight people goes through these stages. Denial first, I am not fat. Then anger, why am I fat? Then bargaining with the friends and families. நீங்கள் நல்லா தான் இருக்கீங்க சார், உங்கள் ஹைட்டுக்கு நீங்கள் வெயிட் கரெக்டாக தான் இருக்கீங்க. These all things have happened to me. இப்போ தான் தோரணை ஆகிங்கம்பாங்க. Depression, okay, realizing that you are fat. And the last and the worst stage is acceptance. Yes, I am fat, I am happy the way I am fat. If I am happy, nothing else matters. This is the stage of acceptance. This has nothing to do with body shaming or about your looks. It's about your health. That we have to realize. So we create many excuses for staying obese. Hereditary. எங்கள் அப்பா தான் வெயிட்டாக தான் இருந்தாரு, எங்கள் தாத்தா குண்டா தான் இருந்தார், நானும் குண்டா தான் இருக்கேன். No, you can change. And big bone, எனக்கு bone mass ஜாஸ்திம்பாங்க. No, everybody's bones are the same. As an orthopedician, I can vouch that. So we get jealous at some people. என்னப்பா சாப்பிட்டுக்கிட்டே இருக்க, அவனுக்கு வெயிட் போட மாட்டேங்குது, எனக்கு மட்டும் வெயிட் போடுது இல்லையா? Some people can't eat anything, but they won't gain weight. They are called ectomorphs. And mesomorph people, they can eat anything, they gain muscle, not fat. Some people are endomorphs, like me. I eat anything, I gain adipose tissue and fat instantly around the belly. So Sheldon's body types. So we have to accept that our body type is this thing, and we have to live by this thing, and we have to work on this thing. There is no use on comparing with others. So anybody who wants to lose weight starts with walking. Always walking. ஒரு ஷார்ட்ஸு, ஒரு புது ஷூஸ், நல்ல டிஷர்ட், காலையில் ஒரு ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் கேங், ஸ்டார்ட் வெயிட்டிங். ஸோ த பேட் நியூஸ் இஸ் வாக்கிங் வில் நாட் ரெடியூஸ் வெயிட். And the good news is walking will reduce weight. So what's the difference? So we can see many people going for walking. While returning, everybody stays by a tea shop. ஒரு நல்ல கதை அடிச்சு குட் டைம், ஒரு வடை சம்சா, கேட்கவே நல்லா இருக்கு. So that's the difference it makes. One coffee gives around 137 calories and one vadai gives 160 calories. So one vadai, one coffee, if wanted another vadai, gives you 450 plus calories. And your half an hour walking burns only around 130 calories. So you are gaining 320 plus calories daily. If you are religiously going for walking, sincerely going for walking daily, 30 days means you are gaining 9,000 calories per month. அப்புறம் எப்படி வீட்டுக்கு குறையும்? So I won't blame Vadivelu for addicted to vadai. Very tasty, very tempting still. பருப்பு வடை, உளுந்த வடை, கீரை வடை, வாழைப்பூ வடை, எது கிடைச்சாலும் வடை. சிமிலர் லிஸ்ட் பஜ்ஜியில் வரும். So the formula is calorie deficit. You cannot reduce weight without changing your diet. So what is calorie deficit? The calories you are taking in should be less than the calories you are burning. As simple as that. So if you go for walking or workout, don't change the diet. That is the thing. If you are increasing the diet, again you are gaining more calories. So the calories you are taking in should be less than the calories you are burning. Weight loss, the formula is simple. The calories should be less and the output should be more by activity, exercises. Resting calories we cannot change. Activity we can change only a little. Exercise we can work out on more. So how to calculate all these calories? Each and every food we are eating, each and every meal we are eating, it's very difficult to calculate the calories. To add to the confusion, all calories are not same. 300 grams of vegetables have the same calories as a piece of cake, but they are not the same. So to guide us people, we have so many diets. So each and every person can select a diet. So for a disease, if there is one treatment, appendicitis, appendectomy. If the one disease has one treatment, it means the treatment is efficient, 100%. So we have shoulder dislocation. We have so many surgeries for shoulder dislocation. So if one problem is having so many solutions, that means nothing is 100% effective. Each and everybody should select according to their own goal and body type. No, this does not come under a weight reduction diet. So, common things first. One thing is common to all the diets, that is, what are all the things you should stop completely. Forbidden things are common to all diets. Smoking and alcohol are the only things that the manufacturer themselves accept and announce on the labels that it is harmful to health. So we need no more explanations on that.
Criminal. He is the biggest criminal. This is the biggest national issue.
So then the biggest businessman, the biggest criminal we are facing is this white powder. And the manufacturers of this white powder claim it is fun, it is healthy, it is happy. We are misled about those claims and advertisements. Sugar. In one thing or other, we are having sugar in so many items in our daily diet. Biscuits, chocolates, ice creams, any sauce, everything has biscuits and sugar. So India is the largest producer of sugar in the world, we are happy. India is the second largest exporter of sugar, we are happy, but India is the largest consumer of sugar. That is worrisome thing. As I said earlier, everything has sugar. These soft drinks, sugar exists in many forms. Somebody say white sugar is harm to health. Okay. நான் நாட்டு சக்கரை தான் சாப்பிட்றேன், நான் வெல்லம் போட்டு தான் சாப்பிட்றேன், நான் கருப்பட்டி வச்சு சாப்பிட்றேன். ஸோ எனிதிங் தட் டேஸ்ட் ஸ்வீட் இஸ் பேட் ஃபார் யுவர் ஹெல்த். ஆல் த ஸ்வீட் ஐட்டம்ஸ் spikes your glucose when taken inside and all are harmful. So again, anything tastes sweet is bad for health. And we get so many advertisements. Sugar free biscuit, sugar free diet coke. The only thing that has yet to come is sugar free sugar. These are all gimmicks. Please don't fall for them. Last month I was shocked to read this news in Indian Express. New norms for treating kid obesity. Under 12 should start to take medicines, and children above 13 can go for surgery for weight reduction. And they have also approved a drug for teen obesity. Right from infancy, we make the children addictive. The supplementary foods, health drinks, taller, stronger, sharper, நிறைய சொல்லி we are making the children addictive. Later they go for chocolates, biscuits, and in front of the TVs, in front of the systems, they are munching, they are gaining weight. And then we seek for medicines and surgery for treating the teen obesity. It's not only stupidity, it's also cruelty towards the children. So malnutrition, the gap is widening still. So we know all the dangers of sugar. It gives immediate spike in the glucose level after intake, and also it triggers a pleasure point in our brain. That's why all sugar products we eat, we feel happy and make us addictive also. It promotes weight gain. It can cause to diabetes. And one other thing. So the difference between the two photographs, both are taken in the same studio, same photographer, same place, same time. But the difference is a dull, oily face on the left side. This is, I was taking sugar, and the right side is without sugar. So the left side, I was doing many facials, bleaches, using many fairness creams. கருப்பா பயங்கரமாக இருக்கும்னு சொல்லி இதெல்லாம் யூஸ் பண்ணால் கடைசியில் பயங்கர கருப்பாக தான் ஆகிட்டேன். குட் ஈவினிங் சார். வெல்கம் சார். The right side is I use nothing. So if you want to stay fair and lovely, please stop sugar. Yeah. The healthiest part about in the donut is the central hole only. And the same thing applies for our ulundha vadai also. That is what I am going to talk about next. Ennu paaka onnu pola da agum. Fine, sugar is poison, period. So all the NCDs have one common risk factor, that is insulin resistance and obesity. So வள்ளுவர் சொல்லியிருக்கார், நோய் நாடி நோய் முதல் நாடி அது தணிக்கும் வாய் நாடி வாய்ப்பச்சேர். ஒரு சின்ன கன்ஃபியூஷன், அது தணிக்கும்னா எது தணிக்கும்? கீழே கலைஞர் முறையிலேயே நோய் தீர்க்கும் வழி என்னன்னு தான் கேட்டிருக்காரு. நோ, ஐ டோன்ட் திங்க் வள்ளுவர் ஹேட் மென்ட் தட். நோய் நாடி தணிக்கும் வழி என்ன? ஸோ அதைத்தான் பார்க்கணும். ரேதர் தேன் ட்ரீட்டிங் த டிசீஸ், we must address the cause for the disease. So that's the insulin resistance cycle. So we try to treat this always by giving more insulin and increase the sensitivity to insulin, but we have forgotten about the food part. Why can't we change the food and avoid the glucose spike in the blood? We can stop sugar, we can stop the carbohydrates, but we are fearful. Instead of 4 இட்லி சாப்பிட்டுட்டு இருக்கிற பதிலாக we say only 2 இட்லி சாப்பிட்டுன்னு சொல்கிறோம். அது அவனுக்கு காணாது. ஸோ திரும்ப வேறு ஏதாவது சாப்பிடுவாங்க. The reason is we are afraid to substitute carbohydrates with fat and protein. I think that's the reason. In the history of food, early hunter-gatherers were eating whatever is available. Then man became lazy to hunt. So he settled around the riverbeds, started civilization and cultivation. Then man became lazy. He didn't want to work. So we got food from hotels. Then man became lazy. Now Swiggy and Zomato are giving the hotel food to our own home. So as man becomes more and more lazy, our food becomes more and more unhealthy. So more unhealthy foods, more diseases, more treatments, and all the treatments are based on evidence-based medicine from various researchers. So this thing started. Dr. Ansel Keys is in USA. He started a study on cardiovascular diseases and the intake of fat. And this was published, that the intake of fat is directly proportional to the incidence of cardiovascular diseases. And the FDA approved it, and we started following it, and rest is history. Simultaneously, Ansel Keys was studying The same effect in other European countries also. Totally he studied in 22 countries, but the publication was from 8 countries. What happened to the other 14 countries? They were inconclusive. They didn't show that much correlation between fat intake and cardiovascular diseases. You would have heard of that term French paradox. And similarly, Maasai paradox. Many studies were conducted among the tribals in Africa. They were taking so much of fat, but the risk of cardiovascular disease is so less. Even the times have changed. The 2014 Time cover showed cholesterol as villain, and the 2014 Time says that eat butter. So that's the thing going on nowadays for weight reduction. Avoid sugar, avoid carbohydrates, go for high protein, go for fat. So there are various diets on this keto depending upon the amount of carbohydrates you are allowed to take. So the low carb diet is better. I am taking this diet, and the keto diet or the paleo diet is a bit riskier. So all the diets you have to go under the supervision of your physician only, because you are changing your food completely. Your body is going out of tune. You have to have the guidance of a physician to follow these diets. There are risks and benefits. Benefits are many. Your weight is reduced. Diabetes is controlled. Your medications for diabetes will come down. Digestion, no digestion problem. You won't get any indigestion or esophagitis with this thing. And you won't get caries also. Caries too are very much less because you have stopped sugar and carbohydrates. But the risks are there. You will have a headache. You will have fatigue. Go for ketosis. Increase the frequency of urination. But I have found out that these risks go by one out in 2 or 3 months. After 3 months, I didn't get any problem. Initially, yes, whenever you change a diet, you will get some discomfort like headache, irritability, and increased hunger. So, in my school days, I remember, எங்கள் அம்மா ஒரு சீட்டு கொடுப்பாங்க, ஒரு 5 மளிகை லிஸ்ட் இருக்கும். I used to go to the grocery shop, buy those 5 things and come back home. So what is happening nowadays? If we go to a supermarket, we wanted to buy 5 things, we are coming to home with 10 or 12 things. So this supermarket has started to change our own purchasing mentality. We like to buy many things, our children like to buy many things. Have you ever, anybody noticed where the chocolates are displayed in the supermarket? It's near the billing counter. You can skip the racks, you can skip the columns, but you cannot skip the cash counter. And you have to wait there for some time in the cash counter till your next person moves. அந்நேரத்தில் தான் நம்ம பையன் கேட்பான், அப்போ அந்த டைரி மில்க்கு நல்லா வாங்கி கொடுங்கப்பா. These are all playing with our minds. It's a trap. So now if a supermarket போகும்போது I go with the list, I come with the things that's in the list. And TV commercial mislead us everything. So anything that have a TV commercial are harmful. Yes, anything without labels are good. Go to the market, buy fresh meat, buy fresh vegetables. If the food goes bad, it is good for you. If the food doesn't go bad, it has a long shelf life, it's not good for you. And the next thing is mindful eating. Food is God. So we should not insult food by wasting it, or we should not insult it by doing some other thing. We should eat without any TV or without any books in the hand, without any mobile. Just enjoy and eat your food. And always home food. Never go for the outside food. Home food is the only healthy food we can eat. So to put everything simple, we need not get confused with all those things. To put things simple, you can follow the plate diet. We can divide the plate into 1/2 and 2/4. 1/4 is filled with carbs. You can take rice, bread, or on idli, right? And another quarter with proteins, that is meat or egg, or in vegetarian you can go for paneer, soya, like that. And the other half is filled with vegetables and fruits. So if you feel hungry, please never refill the carbs part. You can always refill the protein and the veggies part. This applies to buffet also. Never refill the carbohydrate part. Regarding activity, our ancestors were walking for a long time. And as science advanced, we were becoming sedentary. So laziness is not luxury always. Short video.
What will your last 10 years look like? Will you be quick enough for a game of tag with your grandchild? Strong enough to embrace every moment? Will you grow old with vitality? Or get old with disease? It's time to decide.
No, this is not a wrong slide. So we carefully plan our financial investments, 50%, 30%, 20% of savings, like that. Why can't we allot 4% of our 24 hours day for your workout? It takes just 1 hour. So why 1 hour? For the first 15 minutes of your walking or running or whatever workout, only the sugars and carbs in the blood are burned. The fat starts to burn only after 30 minutes. That's why everybody advocates a 1 hour workout. And also I would advise the workouts and the cardio, everything after achieving your normal BMI. With the obesity and increased BMI, you may get health issues if you start working out. Knee pain or muscle spasm, you have more risk of encountering those things. And cardio, walking is the simplest aerobic exercise. Everybody can do the walking. Madhya Pradesh sir still punctually starts at 6 a.m. daily walking in the Roach Park. And I remember Lakshmana sir going for shuttle, and Arulta sir going for walking. So cardio is the best thing and the easiest thing, and weight strengthening also helps in burning calories. So why sleep is important? Police selection la pathina, there are so many physical tests. A person should run 1 mile within 7 minutes, that is 1.6 kilometers within 7 minutes. That's the test. If they fail, they won't be selected. But what happens after those days? Later, policemen also get obese. The same thing happens for doctors also. Not all doctors are obese in the college days. Then later we gain weight. And we think about that sedentary lifestyle, but no, obesity will come if you go loss of sleep. Inadequate sleep will increase your weight. Inadequate sleep and untimely meals is a very major contributor for obesity. So all doctors, I think, running and seeing the patients, we neglect our own sleep without knowing that it's a big health issue. So insomnia is a big problem. What happens if we don't get sleep? We take our mobile and start browsing. That is even more worsening the insomnia. So switch off your phone after 10 o'clock. Don't take sugar, alcohol, tea, nothing like that. And even without sleeping, you lie down at the particular time. Slowly you will start sleeping. And do exercise 1 hour daily. அடிச்சு போட்டோமா தூக்கம். And Foxy பற்றி மேடம் பேசினாங்க. I would like to point out 2 or 3 things about that. The pregnancy related obesity is a very common issue. I think no lady is going to the same weight as before pregnancy, mostly. We blame it on physiological alteration, we blame it on hormonal imbalance, and even they blame the anesthesia for the backache coming from the obesity. Just have an eye on the diet they have after childbirth. அம்மா வீட்டில் தான் இருக்காங்க. காலையில் கார்போஹைட்ரேட், இட்லி, தோசை, இடியாப்பம். 11 மணிக்கு அகைன் கார்போஹைட்ரேட் அண்ட் சுகர், சீனி பாலில் போட்டு ரஸ்க்கு. அந்த ரஸ்க்கு ஞானம் பேக்கரியில் தான் வாங்கணும். தென் அகெயின் லஞ்ச், ரைஸ், கருவாட்டு குழம்பு, வெள்ளைப்பூடு குழம்பு, ரைஸ். ஈவினிங் அகெயின் பிஸ்கட்ஸ், சுகர். நைட் அகெயின் ரைஸ், பால் சோறு சாப்பிட்ணுமா, அப்போ தான் பால் வரும்னு சொல்லி பால் சோறு சீனி போட்டு சாப்பிட்ணும். ஸோ in spite of going for the nutrients, they are getting pumped up with carbohydrates and sugar. And at some point of time, the obesity becomes irreversible. So obstetrician can have a point on that. So 9 months to gain weight, 9 months is enough to lose it also, to going back to the pre-pregnancy weight. So whenever I start to talk about this sugar, carbohydrates and all, usually my friends say, அதெல்லாம் விடுமாப்ல, நீ என்ன சாப்பிட்றாது சொல்லு. So I can share what I do daily now. And previously, this was, the left side was 5 years back. I usually get up at 7 or 7:30 a.m. and go to the hospital at 8:30 a.m. The breakfast will be carb filled, idli, idiyappam. அசோக் பவன் போனேன்னா ஒரு பொங்கல் சாப்பிடுவேன். பொங்கல்லாம் இட்ஸ் நாட் இன் அ கரண்டி, இட்ஸ் இன் அ பிளேட். ஒரு பொங்கல், ஒரு வடை, 2 பூரி, ஒரு காஃபி. திஸ் வாஸ் மை ஓல்டு பிரேக்ஃபாஸ்ட். தென் அகெயின் அட் 10 o'clock 11 o'clock வடை, சமோசா, பிஸ்கட் எது கிடைச்சாலும் சாப்பிட்றோம். நெக்ஸ்ட் லஞ்ச், கார்போஹைட்ரேட். ரைஸ் இஸ் த மெயின் ஸ்டே ஆஃப் அவர் லஞ்ச் ஆல்வேஸ். அதில் சாம்பார் இல்லை குழம்பு, அப்புறம் குழம்பு ஊற்றி ரசம், அப்புறம் தயிர், அப்போ குழம்பு ஊற்றி தயிர். So what are all the permutations, combinations we study in the childhood, we apply in the dining table. Then again tiffin, I'm very fond of biscuits, முறுக்கு, கடலை. எப்போவுமே வீட்டில் நம்ம ஸ்நாக் பாக்ஸ் வச்சுருக்கோம் இல்லையா, வச்சுருக்கோமா? எப்போவுமே அதில் முறுக்கு, கடலாம் இருக்கும். எப்போனாலும் கையோடு சாப்பிட்லாம். Then again dinner, again carbohydrate, சப்பாத்தி. அப்புறம் டெசர்ட்னு ஒரு மோசமான ஒரு வார்த்தை அது. And starting from today, today's dinner has no desserts. ஏன்னா dessert is full of sugar, carbohydrate. Then again I'll go to the TV screen or mobile, I'll sleep by 1 a.m. This was my previous lifestyle. And now I always get up at 5 a.m. I go for a run or workout And breakfast is I take a butter coffee and a few nuts. And if I run long, I'll take 1 or 2 idlis. And 11 o'clock I take some vegetable salad. Lunch is a handful of rice. என் கையில் எவ்வளோ சோறு ஒரு கையில் அள்ள முடியுமோ that's the rice. அதுக்கு மேலே எடுக்க மாட்டேன். அதுக்கு மேலே if I feel hungry, alternate days veg and non-veg. Veg means vegetables and non-veg meat or chicken. Vegetablesனா இவ்வளோ பாவக்காய் இவ்வளோ அவரைக்காய் till the stomach gets full. And evening 5 o'clock one green tea. And dinner is again protein. Non-veg means meat and vegetarian means paneer. And I sleep at 10:30 or 11 p.m. Then only I can wake up at 5 a.m. So I have talked about the main course and the right side. Left side la paayunga, that is the most important thing. Coffee, soft drinks, coffee, juice, 7-Up, doctor's meeting, coffee, surgery, operation theatre, before surgery, coffee, surgery mudichittu coffee. Now I take only water, nothing but water. So these all coffees and teas add on to your weight. So நமக்கு நல்லது நடக்கணும்னா 4 பேர் வேணும் இல்லையா? So this is Dr. Padmanabhan, fondly known as Palio Badhu, who introduced me to this no sugar, low carb, medium fat and high protein diet. And every diet change, every change in lifestyle, you need a physician to monitor your own health. It's not fun. Sometimes you may land up in big problems. And I thank Dr. Lakshmanan sir for keeping a pulse always on my health. Initially I was taking all blood tests and ECG for 3 months, every 3 months, then every 6 months, and now once in a year. Thank you, sir. And Dr. Rajesh, presently professor in vascular surgery in Tirunelveli Medical College, he is my friend from first year MBBS. He inspired me to running, and we always go for races together. And my dear wife, my better half, figuratively and literally, it is very tough to handle a husband who demands strange foods. And getting up at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock for a run, she managed everything. And I lost my weight in 2019, but I never advocated anybody of that lifestyle, because I wanted to convince myself of 2 things. One, whether I can maintain this weight. After 4 years, I think yes, I can maintain. And the second thing is whether this thing works only for me or others also. So after I lost weight, my wife started the same lifestyle, same diet and same workouts. Voila, the result is, there she goes. From 96 kgs, she came down to 60 kgs. And I am convinced that this lifestyle will work for anybody. Whenever, wherever possible, we go for a run together. So that was the Kodaikanal Lake. This was 5 years back, and this is the present status. So to summarize, one size does not fit all. Each and everybody has their own comorbidities, their own obesity, their own goals. So select a diet suitable for you, consult a physician according to your comorbidities, and then start a diet. So one thing is for sure, no diet has an expiry date. It is not a short-term diet, it is a change in lifestyle forever. You go back to the original diet, you will get your original weight. And again, pillars of health, the nutrition, no sugar, low carb, medium fat, high protein diet. Only home food. Rarely and occasionally you go for your outside food. And adequate sleep and 1 hour exercise. And if I want to give you one message today, if you want to take one slide from today's presentation, I'll take this slide. Sugar is poison, and all sugar products are poison. So health or taste? From the days of Adam and Eve, always the forbidden things are tasty and tempting. So we have to choose taste or health. And a 3 weeks and 3 months rule is helpful in maintaining your lifestyle. You change to any diet, the first 3 weeks are very difficult. You will feel the withdrawal symptoms. You will feel the headaches, the giddiness, irritability, sleeplessness, everything you will get in the first 3 weeks. You cross those 3 weeks, these symptoms will go off. And you maintain the same lifestyle for 3 months, then it's easy to maintain the same lifestyle. All the defaulters of any diet go away in the first 3 months only. So, some of my points I have explained tonight may be strong and some may be wrong, but these things I have been following for the past 5 years. And if I can do that, I think anybody can do that. So it comes down to one simple thing all. How bad do you want to? If you want to do it, you will find ways. If you don't want to do it, you will find excuses. Thank you.